So the representation looks like the decision makers, right? The players are one thing, right? I touched on the players on the field, but we're talking about
Mhm.
GM, scouts, business owners that have contracts with these major league teams, right? Marketing, sponsorship deals, those African Americans at the table that can influence a decision.
And I'm catching feelings, baby. What's up, beautiful people? It's Hershe Sundae, and I'm back with the scoop after dark. How are you? No, really. How are you? Well, I hope that you're doing well. And whether you're dropping off the kids at practice, coming back from a long day out in this beautiful Chicagoland weather, or even getting ready to coach a team of your own, I want you to know that you are welcome here, you are safe here, and I'm very happy to have you here. Now, listen, with this beautiful weather finally breaking through in the Chicagoland area, you already know what that means. Baseball is back outside, okay? And tonight we've got somebody who is not just a part of the culture, but actively shaping it. We're talking about a man who has spent over a decade pouring into Chicago youth, mentoring, coaching, and creating real opportunities through the game of baseball. A Southside native, educator, leader, and the CEO and co founder of Black Baseball Media, a platform dedicated to uplifting and increasing visibility for Black athletes in the sport. And not only that, he is bringing something major to the city. The first ever Chicago HBCU Baseball Classic is happening Friday, May the 2nd at Wrigley Field, featuring Alabama A&M and Prairie View A&M. And this is bigger than just a game. This is culture. This is legacy. This is opportunity. So, Scoops, help me welcome Coach Earnest Horton. Coach E, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. That sounds better than Arsenio Hall. Trying to warm me up, man. Thank you so much, man. It's an honor and a pleasure. Yes, it's a pleasure and honor to be here. Shout out to all the Scooper Knights. We're going to name them Scooper Knights that
Yes,
follow along with you
yes.
all. Definitely love the coach. You know, sometimes y'all episodes be when I'm tucked in the bed, but definitely happy to come on here and talk to the audience. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Thank you for coming. I know your time is limited because you got a lot going on. So let's dive right in and get to know you a little better. Let's start at the beginning. Growing up on the south side of Chicago, what did baseball mean to you back then, and how did it shape who you are today?
So you got to understand, I grew up right there in Thule Park in Chatham, right off 87th Street.
Okay.
You know, with Thule's on 91st Street, we all migrated to Thule after Cole Park on 85th Street.
Mhm.
Baseball gave us that safe haven. You know, it's always the telling tale in our communities, underserved, under economic development. You know, whole nine. We don't have to explain that, but you had a when I came up, you had a group of 20 to 40 to 50 people. Everybody played baseball coming up. You know, whether it's strikeout, piggy in the park, everybody was Park District kids running around, swimming, like basketball, football. You ended the day with baseball. So baseball was really a staple in our community.
And since you've been coaching for over a decade, what made you say, I don't just want to play the game, I want to pour into the next generation?
So the biggest thing is when I came home from college, shout out to Arkansas Pine Bluff. I was fortunate enough to get a baseball scholarship there and play 4 years there. When I came home, you know, the coaching was fine. Then the training was fine, but we saw that it was always a false narrative around black kids are not playing baseball. And I was like, it's false. We were seeing tons of black kids playing. It just wasn't visible to society. You know, social media now is boom, it's taking off. And we all know through this platform, and I saw a wonderful take that you did talking about how media can control your mindset, right? So now we thought the same thing in baseball. So with the power of social media, the phones and the tablets and the computers, we want to make sure we magnify and elevate and create visibility around the game of baseball for African Americans. And with that, we know, as grandma saying in the church, seeing is believing, but it's so true. So that's what we really stuck to our core principles. We want to provide resources for kids, educate the parents on how to make sound decisions, and then, you know, elevate and help out programs that are doing wonderful work through the game of baseball.
And a wonderful job you're doing. When you're working with these young athletes, especially in the underserved communities, what are you really trying to instill in them beyond just the sport?
So grit is the number one thing. As we can see what's going on in the economy, what's going on with the political climate. No matter what's going on in the world, you as an African American, you gotta have grit. You gotta fight through it. And baseball is a game of failures. You're gonna strike out more than you hit the ball. You go mess up, but guess what? You gotta get right back in there because every pitch is a game within itself.
Oh, you're absolutely right about that. And we definitely need that now more than ever. Sometimes I feel like, we grew up in I'm an 80s baby, 89 baby to be exact. And I feel like the era that we grew up, we kind of had to get it together. You fall, scrape your knee, get right back up.
Yeah,
And sometimes I think with the comfort of us doing better and wanting better for our kids, we give them what we didn't have or didn't have the opportunity to have. But having that grit though is necessary to get where you need to go because this is still America. They
that's
still
right.
need that fight in them. So I agree with that. Along those lines, what are some of the biggest challenges you see in Black youth? You see them facing when it comes to the access and opportunity in baseball.
The consistency to access. And what I mean by that
Mm,
is we know we have a lot of youth, their households are not in the best shape. And then we
mhm,
also know that we have programming that happens that gets underfunded or loses funding. So now that kid is not consistently being involved in programming due to either at home situation, transportation situation, and or the program actually being cut or underfunded. In baseball, it's a, like I said earlier, it's a game of grit. It's meticulous. You have to do it almost every single day to be even considered good, not great. So I would say
mhm.
the consistency.
Oh, you're absolutely right about that. And on the flip side of that, the other side of the coin, what has been the most rewarding moments where you were like, yeah, this is why I do this?
So there's two standout moments always for me. Anytime I see a kid graduate from college that I saw grow up and play in our program, I'm like, okay, that's what's up, right? So I can't. Right now, we got over 100 that did it, and then high school classic events that led to this HBCU Baseball Classic.
Mhm.
What I mean by that is to bring out, we've been doing this for 5 years, our High School Baseball Classic, which connects community and baseball together. It gives you that old school Chicago baseball block party. So we're bringing out 3,000 fans to watch baseball, pump up their favorite high school kids, and to see the community come together. No police officers, no wands, no security guards, no nothing. And I'm talking about people from
Mhm.
79th to 103rd, like the whole Chicago game. We buried all those stereotypes. So that's the one proudest, like two proudest moments when they get to and through college, and then our events when we bring the community together.
You know what? And this goes along with the next question. And to me, you touched on it a lot. But with you being the CEO and co founder of Black Baseball Media, what inspired you to create the platform? You kind of mentioned it. And what gap were you trying to fill?
So the biggest gap is 6% of black players in the MLB. So of course we want to try to create more African American players in MLB, and then
Mhm.
we also want to close the social economic gap. And I know people are like, well, how does baseball correlate to the social economic gap for African Americans households? If we take you know a step back and look back in history, in the 1920s we had the Harlem Renaissance, right? The Negro
Mhm.
Leagues thrived and was an economic vehicle for black neighborhoods. So if you think about it, they did black vendors, they had the black shoe shine, black uniform, and everything that black dollar was circulating throughout. The Negro Leagues used to outperform and outsell the MLB when it came to ticket sales. So we
I
had
love that.
everything that we needed through the game of baseball with the Negro Leagues to kind of stem the economic growth of African Americans. Now, that's not the sole only reason why, right? We know we had the oil shops, we had people growing their own produce. We knew that. But the staple behind when African Americans really thriving was the Negro Leagues in the game of baseball.
And this kind of ties into the same thing when you were talking about the different shoe shiners and different positions that all take part in the game. My next question was, what does representation in baseball look like to you? And you touched on it a lot. And why is it so important that we continue to push for that visibility in this sport?
So the representation looks like the decision makers, right? The players are one thing, right? I touched on the players on the field, but we're talking about
Mhm.
GM, scouts, business owners that have contracts with these major league teams, right? Marketing, sponsorship deals, those African Americans at the table that can influence a decision. That's what representation looks like for blacks in the game of baseball.
Now we're going to get to what I'm super excited about, this HBCU Classic. We got to get to it, okay?
Let's
Have to
do it.
talk
Let's
about
do
this
it.
because this is big. The Chicago HBCU Baseball Classic at Wrigley Field. What inspired you to bring something like this to the city?
Well, and this what we going. This is the back porch talk. So being a Chicago native going down south to
Mhm.
HBCU and
Mhm.
traveling and going to different HBCUs and seeing the below the Mason Dixon line culture, it's like, man, this is what's happening, right? And then you get to Chicago, and Chicago, we have our own black culture, and I'm like, okay, we have a ton of Chicagoans who migrate south to go to college and then come back up here, and we bring that down south flavor and we bring the HBC culture back to Chicago when we go through our daily lives. I'm like, we have to figure out how we can make this mix. We saw the excellent work. Shout out to Larry Huggins. He's one of our partners behind the scenes in this event and the success of the Chicago Football Classic, right? So we said, football got it. They've been doing it 20 some years. We know we can pull baseball off, right? We know we can pull baseball off. So we started really asking around, and everybody like, yeah, we ain't never heard of nobody doing no HBC baseball game in Chicago. And from the ownership, the Ricketts family was 1,000% behind this. The minute it got brought to their desk, they're like, "Yup, go. Let's figure it out." And the support of the Chicago Cubs in Wrigley Field. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better relationship and support from them. And this came literally last summer. It was a roundtable discussion, a talk. The Chicago Cubs has been always been one of our community partners in our youth initiative. And they said, "Hey, Ernest, we're going to bag it. We're going to bag it." And you hear it sometimes, you're like, okay. Then we start putting it
Mhm.
together, like, we're bagging it, we're bagging it. Then,
Mhm.
we start calling a
Mhm.
couple of schools, and then we start getting some contracts, and then the paperwork hit. It's like, oh, really? Then, of
That's what makes it
course,
real, that paperwork.
that's what makes it real. And then
Mhm.
the Gemini Group, they have wonderful PR partners with us. They started shooting it to the news, and Terrell Brown, ABC News, they picked it up, and the rest is history. That's why we're here.
This isn't just a game, it's a full experience. So, what can people expect from the week of events leading up to the Classic? I know you have a few things going on leading
Oh
up
yeah.
to the big game. So, what can we expect?
Okay, so what you're gonna expect is the biggest Chicago HBCU baseball block party you ever experienced. So we have a week long full of events that we really want to tap into the community. We know Wrigley Field is the cherry on top, but we really want to show the Chicago culture and the great neighborhoods and everyone be able to own a piece of this historic moment. So Sunday, we're going to kick everything off on April 26th with a HBCU alum softball game. So that softball game is going to be right there in the 6th Ward, Inglewood STEM High School. Shout out to Inglewood STEM. They opened their doors for us. Alumni can sign up, play softball. If you don't want to play softball, you can come on out, bring a lawn chair. We're going to have a live DJ. Bring the kids out. We're going to have a bouncy house. We feeding the whole community. We got a couple old school cars coming out that's going to swerve in and out. CPD will be present, so don't get a ticket. But that's our family feel. That's our kickoff. We couldn't kick it off without the soul of Chicago, which we know Inglewood has a lot of rich roots. We hear about the negativity that's going on in Inglewood across the country, and that's how they try to label us. But no, there's some good things going on in that 6th Ward. Shout out to the Alderman William Hall,
Yes.
who's been fully supporting Black baseball media. So that's the kickoff. We're gonna have a penny candy lady out there too, and the pickles with the peppermints in the middle. We
Oh,
doing it for yeah,
okay. Take us
yeah.
back. Take us
This
on
is a
back. We
real
need it.
Chicago. It's a real Chicago flavor. We the picnic town, and we're gonna put an HBCU spin behind it. On Tuesday, this is our youth day. So on Tuesday at Olive Harvey Community College, we're gonna have an HBCU financial education seminar in partnership with Chase Bank. So this is where we're gonna target 150 high school students from Sullivan, South Shore, and Whitney Young. They're going to come in. Chase is going to lead them through some extensive financial education. We're not saying literacy. They say education. They're going to take them all down through there, as the kids say. But no, they're going to lead with tools that they can actually use in college. And then that's from 9 to 12. And then from 12:30 to 2:30, we're going to target 30 small Black-owned businesses in Chicago, and Chase Bank is going to provide them resources. And then if the business qualify, they're going to get a year-long free consulting from Chase Bank. There's some
That is
qualifications
awesome.
that Chase has online that you got to reach. It's not $1 million in the bank account. They don't look at that. They're just looking at,
Mhm.
your sustainability level, what you really need. So that's one of the things we're hanging our hats on, which we talked about earlier, empowering the Black business, and then also bringing the youth to the table. On Thursday, we're going to have our welcome mixer in the South Loop, Marriott. That's that old school. Come to the hotel, get you a nice adult beverage. I know this after
Mhm.
hours, get you an
Mhm.
adult beverage, some food. We're going to welcome all the Alabama A&M and Prairie View alum and anybody from HBCU. I seen on Facebook, somebody gonna be in the parking lot doing the fish fries. I'm like, all right, be careful, right? Don't blow up the parking lot. That event is going to take place from 5 to 9.
Mhm.
Also, we're targeting 50 local high school students that are going to actually showcase the talents in hopes of getting a collegiate baseball scholarship in front of Prairie View and Alabama A&M. That is also going on Thursday, April 30th, right there in Roseland at the Pullman Center. On Friday, this is the kickoff day to games. Game one will be in Schaumburg at the Boone Stadium. Review and Alabama A&M. Also going on, we know a lot of our folks from the South Side and West Side might not want to drive to Schaumburg. So we're going to have a watch party at Bellagio's 233, with their collegiate gear, where Greek paraphernalia. That's our HBCU mixer kickoff. That's from 7 to 11. So that thing is going to be jumping. And then we have an after party. That's going to be from 9 to 2. It's on the flyer you're going to have posted. But that's a 90s party. That's for all our 70s babies. We 80s.
Ooh.
But yeah,
Period.
they're gonna kick it.
For
That's
the
hosted
most
by the
seasoned
Fern.
crowd, something for them
There
too.
you
I
go.
love it.
That's hosted by the Fern. And sorry, I'm literally drawing a blank on the space because we have to change it, but it'll be on the
Mhm.
flyer, y'all. Y'all just check it. Keep following Black Baseball Media. And on Saturday, we're actually gonna have our pregame mix before the HBC Classic in Wrigley. WGCIV 103 and Soul 106.3 is going to be in Gallagher's Way. They're going to do a free ticket giveaway right on the spot. So you walk up to Wrigley Park, they might give you a ticket. And the game is free. If you have not got tickets, please join the waiting list. And that game kicks off at 7 o'clock at Wrigley Field. I'm going to do a personal raffle in the next couple days, so make sure y'all look out for it. One of the things is, for disclosure, I know somebody gonna rip us in the comments. I'm on the wait list. I ain't got my tickets. We had thousands and thousands and thousands of tickets go in the first 5 hours, and then we ran into a couple tech issues and a couple of city ordinances that we have to make sure that we was in compliance with the city of Chicago, and they've been excellent partners with us. And what that means is we just want to make sure we have adequate EMS, police officers, Homeland Security, concession stand. We want to make sure that this was a real baseball experience, top notch. We're not going to underserve our audience because we know we are the people we serve. We want to make sure you have a first class experience at this event.
We are so excited. Well, Coach E, I have one last question for you. So, for the people listening, okay, you have dropped so many gems, and I appreciate it. I know my scoops appreciate it as well. But
The
what is
scoops,
it?
not them the
The
scooper
scoop.
nights. I'm calling them the scooper nights. I'm
No,
calling
I
them the
like that.
scooper
It's
nights.
starting to stick. Scoops,
Yeah,
y'all are
I
the
like.
scooper nights now. Y'all have been named,
Yeah,
okay?
let me know.
Y'all
We're
been
gonna get some
claimed.
shirts
Y'all
made.
been named.
We gonna
Yes.
get some shirts made. And matter of fact, everybody who wears super nice shirt, we're gonna give them a free BBM hat. Come on.
Ooh, okay, y'all see it? Listen.
Yeah, come on.
Okay,
I'm
he's
gonna
for the
give away some
community.
hats. That's
Okay,
right.
he's for the community. Merch coming soon.
That's right.
So, for the people listening, whether they're young athletes, parents, or even adults who want to get involved, how can they support, show up, and be part of what you're building right now?
So the first things first, go follow us on social media, Black Baseball Media. A lot of things that we do, we have an email list and stuff, but that's not connecting with our people. We are, we got a couple people that run the social media. I always jump in every now and then, but we want to hear from y'all. So follow the journey on Black Baseball Media. Let us know what you think. We got thick skin. Let us know, hey man, y'all need to be doing this, or hey, great job, or I want to know more information. That's step one. Step two, go to the website. You guys can book a call directly with me. I am not no I don't gatekeep. I know it might take me a month to get to you because everybody's talking to us nowadays. But I make a good conscious effort with my team. Shout out to them. Let me back up, man. I ain't nothing without. We got 26 people that's the engine of Black Baseball Media that keep me on point, ensure that we're headed in the right direction, that keep me grounded, and keep everybody focused on the mission to be the people that we serve. So I gotta give a huge shout out to the team. There's so many of them I can't start individually naming them, but man, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much. But with that being said, go to that website, click around, book a call, even if you want to talk and have some advice about baseball. We make ourselves accessible. And then also, if you the the collection plate of the BBM Church is always going on. So you want to click
Mm-hmm.
that donate button. If you need some tax write-offs, I know we're in April, so tax season is here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is upon us. Okay. Well, Coach E, listen, I just want to say thank you again for taking the time out. I know you're a busy man. And just disclaimer, y'all, what he said, he was right. He does get back to you, and it is refreshing because some people don't, but
Mhm.
he does well about that. And I want to thank you for that as well. Taking the time to just kind of chop it up with me and the Scoopanites. And just want to let you know that what you're doing is so powerful and it's needed and it's bigger than just a game. And we all see you and we appreciate you. We
I
really do.
appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I can't wait to meet everybody at Wrigley and come on out to the event. I'm easy to talk to. You're going to see Taquala standing right there. Everybody be around me. So just come on, show some love. We got an open door policy. The doors of the BBM Church are now open. It's
Come on
HBCU week.
through
Let's get it.
and come as you are. Okay, come
That's
as
right.
you are.
Come as you are.
Well, I want to thank you again for chatting with us. And Scoop and Nice, thank you again for tuning in on the Scoop with Hershe Sunday After Dark. Don't forget to like, share, follow, and comment for more content. Don't forget to follow Coach E. Coach E, can you give the Scoop and Nice your IG so they can follow you?
My personal IG is Coach EOF Guru.
Awesome. And again, Scoops, thank you so much for tuning in. And wherever you are tonight, take care of your heart. And I'll talk with you soon after dark. Peace.